Hello Appics family, and welcome back to yet another episode of Crypto News. So let's dive straight in and see what is up in the crypto space. Well, let's start with a story of the Bitcoin Billionaire Brothers Winklevoss being turned into a movie. And anyone who's been in the crypto world for a rather long time has surely already heard and come across the name Winklevoss, either through the point of contact with their exchange Gemini or through a tweet of one of the young entrepreneurs. And the story of the Bitcoin billionaires Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss has now reached a new level and actually becomes a Hollywood movie. Now, why is this pretty big news? Why are we talking about it? Well, with the realization of a film, the story of the twins, and thus also inevitably, Bitcoin will arrive in Hollywood. It states that the film producer Greg Silverman will work together with the Winklevoss twins on the implementation of the book Bitcoin Billionaires. And the book itself was written by the New York Times bestselling author Ben Mezrich. Now, this book is about the story of Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, as well as their path to becoming Bitcoin billionaires. And of course, the exceptional year 2017 will play a major role in this. And it is already the second book that Mezrich writes about the twins. By the way, the first book was called The Accidental Billionaires, and it describes the legal dispute between Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and the Winklevoss twins. And this book was also filmed and flooded the cinemas under the name The Social Network. And in any case, I can't wait to see what the final realization of the film will look like and what the role of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin will play in this. What is certain is that such film will certainly has the potential of being a catalyst and will introduce Bitcoin, the term Bitcoin, to some viewers for the very first time. So let us know down in the comments below, would you watch a film like this? And also, can you imagine the positive effect on the perception of Bitcoin this movie will have? And speaking of mass adoption and marketing for Bitcoin, Coca-Cola vending machines in Down Under will soon support Bitcoin. Real hodlers must now be very strong because in Australia and New Zealand, Coca-Cola vending machines will accept Bitcoin as a form of payment in the very near future. Now, while the Bitcoin acceptance is still quite slow here in Germany and other parts of Europe, Bitcoiners on the other side of the globe can at least already use BTC to quench their thirst. And in the future, over 2,000 Coca-Cola vending machines in Australia and New Zealand will be able to exchange digital gold for the capitalist drink. Now, this is possible because of a cooperation between the Australian payment service provider Centropay and none other than Coca-Cola Amatil. Now, Coca-Cola Amatil is the largest beverage bottler and distributor in the Asia-Pacific region. However, owning Bitcoin alone is not enough to make use of this new payment option. You must also have a Silo Smart Wallet, which is a product from Centropay. And then the Coca-Cola paid with Bitcoin is only a QR code scan away after the beverage selection. And Centropay CEO Jerome Fury takes it upon himself to construct a bonus in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. Paying by QR code has the quote-unquote added benefit of reducing physical contact and addressing the hygiene issue that we all have become aware of due to COVID-19. Even though the contact transmissions with COVID-19, at least according to data from Robert Koch Institute, hardly play a role. Nevertheless, the offer will appeal to crypto-enthusiastic Coca-Cola buyers. Now guys, we talk about crypto all the time, and the adoption of Bitcoin really isn't slowing down anytime soon, and more people get interested in the topic. And so the more questions surrounding this topic and surrounding the mystery of Bitcoin, of course, come up. Now, Bitcoin's money supply is limited to 21 million pieces, and one day the last coin will be circulated. Now, according to algorithmic money supply growth, this is likely to be the case in the year 2140, which is crazy to even imagine. But now, what happens when the last coin is minted? So if you send Bitcoin and adhere to the network rules, you can be sure that the miners will incorporate your transaction into one of the following blocks and seal it digitally. Bitcoin is secure without the need for a central authority to handle transactions, and miners play a crucial role in this. And of course, the more there are, the better. But what prompts miners to make expensive investments such as mining equipment, power supply, and warehouse, and to use these costly resources to calculate the hashes for Bitcoin's block headers? Well, the shortened answer is it is worth it. As a reward for their services, miners receive both the so-called block rewards and the transaction fees for all transactions included in the block. So what happens after the time of the last coin mining in 2140 cannot really be reliably predicted. However, due to the transparent structure of Bitcoin's open source code, it can be assumed that any difficulties associated with the declining Coinbase rewards can be detected and can be navigated at any early stage. However, an increasing importance of transaction fees already can be observed today and will come into play before the year 2140. Miners will therefore have ample time to adapt to the changed circumstances. And in a few decades, if the block rewards become too small, the transaction fees will become the main remuneration for miners. And already Satoshi Nakamoto wrote about this himself in the Bitcoin Talk forum. As the reward declines and transaction fees rise, the relationship between the two pillars of mining financing shifts. Now, currently, the ratio is clearly in favor of the mining rewards, but according to data from Awe and Wonder, fees are likely to account for about 50% of mining revenue by the year 2030. So this is the so-called crossover point. And what is the conclusion of all of this? Well, first of all, the bad news is that the layer 1 transactions are likely to become more and more expensive for BTC as use increases. But that doesn't mean that the project has failed. On the contrary, the more people use Bitcoin, the better. Because in the future, everyday transactions are likely to increasingly take place on a layer 2 application such as the Lightning Network. And in other words, this means if rising transaction fees lead the users being discouraged, then the project has failed. So there must be alternatives to expensive on-chain transactions, because not every cup of coffee needs to have a security that layer 1 transactions offer. But of course, if you want to send enormous sums of value across borders in the shortest possible time, then you want to rely on the greatest possible security, and you will not hesitate to do so on the blockchain. Now, compared to traditional transactions of similar value, such as gold or fiat money, BTC will probably continue to be the cheaper alternative in the future. And now let's get to another interesting story, a potential conspiracy, once again surrounding the mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto. What do the Escobar brothers know about Satoshi Nakamoto? Well, rumor has it that Yasutaka Nakamoto, a drug smuggler belonging to the Escobar family, is not only the brother of Dorian Nakamoto, but also one of the creators of Bitcoin. This is what Olaf Quiros Gustafsson, the link between the Escobar family and Bitcoin, claims. Who's Yasutaka Nakamoto? According to Olaf Quiros Gustafsson, the CEO of the family-owned company Escobar Inc. and confidant of the Escobar family, Yasutaka Nakamoto was a senior engineer for Pacific West Airlines, and he was also involved in criminal dealings with the Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar, and he would have smuggled drugs from South America to the United States in the 90s. Yasutaka disappeared completely from public view in 1992 and allegedly reappeared years later to create Bitcoin, according to Gustafsson. Now, the engineer would have acquired the extensive technical knowledge about microprocessors and semiconductors to create Bitcoin through his work. And the mystery of Yasutaka Nakamoto, Gustafsson's argument, is based on a news article in the Los Angeles Times of January 1st, 1967. So this was then again back October 1992, where it states that there was a police bomb squad who discovered a pipe bomb under the driver's seat of a car in a park of the former Amendments company, Hughes Aircraft. Now, the driver was Yasutaka A. Nakamoto, and the article describes the following situation. Hughes employee Yasutaka A. Nakamoto, 39, initially thought someone had broken into his car after discovering a broken window, said Sergeant Andy Gones. Now, then he found a device under his seat, and the police refused to disclose details of this bomb at the time, nor did it explain why an aircraft engineer was the target of a bombing attack. The news article then continued to, again, elaborate on this. According to Gustafsson, the assassination attempt was the end of an illegal cooperation between Nakamoto and Escobar, and shortly thereafter, Yasutaka Nakamoto disappeared from the scene. And as a result of this Newsweek news article published on March 3rd, 2009, on June 1st, 2014, Dorian Nakamoto was briefly traded and traced as the man behind Bitcoin. However, Nakamoto denied his involvement in the creation of Bitcoin. According to an entry in the US phone book white pages, the age and place of residence of Dorian as Nakamoto actually coincide with that of Dorian. So 6 other relatives are also listed, including Yasutaka A. Nakamoto. This is the Nakamoto that everyone was looking for, Gustafson said. He also said, "We believe that his middle name was Akiko and that he later on took the name Akiko. And a man named Akiko was registered at Dorian's address in California." Quite strange, right? So is it true that Yasutaka A. Nakamoto is listed in the US telephone directory at the same address as Dorian? However, the entries can easily have been manipulated by third parties. Now, the involvement of the Escobars in Bitcoin and the rumor of an involvement of the Escobar family with the inventor of Bitcoin who's hiding behind the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto is really no coincidence. At least that's what it seems like. Now, the family has been trying to get into cryptocurrencies for quite some time under the company name Escobar Inc., a multinational holding company based in Medellin, Colombia. Now, for example, they launched the Diet Bitcoin project, which is a spin-off of the Bitcoin blockchain that was converted to Ethereum's ERC20 standard last year. It is said that the London company Coin Legal Ltd tried last year to register Bitcoin as a trademark in the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And the head of the company is Olaf Quiros Gustafsson, the CEO of Escobar Inc. However, the patent application was signed by Robert de Jesus Escobar Gaviera, founder of the Escobar Inc. company. And he's also the brother of cocaine king Pablo Escobar. So can a direct connection be established between the company that registered Bitcoin and the company that belongs to the Escobars? And who's the true Satoshi? Well, the answer remains unclear. But Gustafsson wants to prove with this story that Craig Wright, the self-proclaimed Satoshi Nakamoto, is not the official inventor of Bitcoin. And Wright has repeatedly tried to claim this title in front of the United States Patent and Trademark Office for years, and we mentioned this in one of our last episodes as well. Now, in 2019, he received Bitcoin's copyright, but he lost it to Coin Legal Ltd shortly thereafter. Well, nevertheless, the Escobars remain questionable in their assumptions. In 2018, for example, the Escobar brothers already claimed that Satoshi had personally asked them for help in setting up Bitcoin. And on another occasion, Escobar told Vice that he had met the US government agent who claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto, which led him to conclude that the US government had invented Bitcoin itself. He also believed that one day the US government would completely collapse the market by selling all of Nakamoto's Bitcoin. He also commented on this in his book Pablo Escobar's Diet Bitcoin, The True Story of Roberto Escobar. So now I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the relation between the Escobars and the inventor of Bitcoin? Let us know down in the comments below. And finally, a suggestion for you or anyone looking to understand Bitcoin or blockchain. The YouTube channel Documentary Economies and Finance released the 4th episode of a free full documentary. And this documentary is called Inside the Crypto Kingdom, the Machine-Ordered Universe. And in the documentary, pioneers of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency share their visions of an increasingly digital future. And the description reads, "The current hype about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as millions are made and lost make for great headlines, but misses the far more interesting story about the technology that allows them to exist, namely blockchain." This series dives into the crypto kingdom to understand the technology and why we should all care about how it develops. Just as it's difficult to do anything without the internet today, in 10 years, we might very well be saying the same thing about blockchain. The series travels through a landscape where the virtual and the physical intertwine, where seemingly abstract concepts like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and blockchain have inspired libertarians, financiers, and entrepreneurs to throw themselves into the technology and explore its potential for the future. Some see it as a revolution, while others see it as a prospect of great profits, and many get lost in between. Well, the crew travels across Latin America and Asia in the search of the truth behind the hype. The documentary is less than an hour long and definitely worth checking out, so we'll link it up here. Definitely make sure you have a watch. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Crypto News, and definitely keep watching because we're going to showcase some of our talented, amazing Appics users are a growing community. And if you're not part of the community already, definitely make sure you check out the first link in our description down below, where you're going to be taken to all kinds of links where you can find out more about Appics, become a part of the community, get an Appics account, join our Telegram group, and so much more. Thanks for watching. Definitely give it a thumbs up, comment down below, turn on your post notifications, and now enjoy watching all of our new Appics members and talented users.
Why don't you just let go and quiet down your ego? Don't complain about finance. I know your daddy wasn't a real man. Go ahead and live your dreams. To me you're stronger than a whole team. I know you can't relax, and you don't want me to know that. I see you work real hard. You wanna help your friends, but trust me, baby, you don't owe them. Don't take on people's problems. I wanna see you smile, even when you think I'm angry. It's true, it might take a while, but it's between you and doubt myself, but at least now I love myself. And I am quite emotional, that's why you can't get close at all. Sometimes we fall in love. Love is always enough.
Oh, the sunrise and those brown eyes, you're the one that I desire. Oh, you're the water when I'm stuck in the desert. You're the tunnel that I take when my head hurts. You're the sunshine to my life. Oh, I just wanna see how beautiful